Hello everybody and welcome back to Space Engineers. Yes, we are back. I will be doing post-commentary today because things have changed a little bit since the last time I recorded a video, which was actually the Bard's Tale. I believe you guys aren't enjoying that so much. I may bring that series to an end and just play it by myself. Admittedly, it's not the most intense of games to play. And I'm still figuring out what I want to record and what I don't. That might go into a second plane, probably. Funny game though, funny game. I'm still glad I bought it. So I have a lot of news. First and foremost, this video has been edited to kind of take you through the process of what I'm building right now. Like in the previous video, it is very buildy and not very technical, although towards the end I do make some cool stuff with lights, interior lights, and which was suggested by one of you. And I'm going to be doing more stuff of that nature because it's relatively simple and helps bring a station or a ship to life. Especially if we're on a dark side of a planet. That's where I hope then this thing will really kick in and the coolness factor will really pop out. Now, what has been happening for the last couple of weeks? There's a mosquito. Oh my god, if you've been following my videos for a while, you'll know that I struggled with mosquitoes in front of my screen, and now I've moved to a house maybe 3 or 4 miles away, and there are still freaking mosquitoes in front of my screen. But nevertheless, what has been happening? Why have I for the past 2-3 months been talking about making a move and moving and not enough time? Well, the thing is, I have been moving to my new house in stages, and for the past couple of months I've been living half here and half there. It's just been awful. I hate moving. I've done it tons of times in my life. Admittedly, in situations that I wouldn't wish upon a lot of people, but still, even in my situation, which is fairly pleasant, it really bothers me. It's like, just look around your room and imagine all that flipped inside out and turned upside down. It's just horrible. But right now I finally managed to settle in. There are still boxes everywhere. I don't know if you can hear my brand new chair squeaking. Well, it's actually not brand new. My aunt gave it to me because she retired and she doesn't need to be at the computer anymore. So I now have a chair with lumbar support, which I must admit is a pleasant change from my previous experience where I had a little IRS waiting room office chair to play on. But now oh god, I have a brand new chair, I have a brand new desk. It's actually a dining room table, and I can put my feet up. I now have my feet up. I'm doing it right now, and it's just so pleasant. I have room to move my mouse around. I can spread my wings. I feel like a brand new person here. It's really great. And if you have a cramped space to play your games, I highly encourage you to get on with it and buy some stuff that allows you some breathing room. Of course, this is if you have the money or somebody to give stuff to you, which was my case. Now, I have actually also started working at my girlfriend's parents' cafe. It's relatively easy work. However, I don't get any days off until the end of the year. So I have to play and record in the mornings. Basically, I have about 3 hours per day to myself to play and record. So I'm trying to make the best of that time, and this is the way I got this video out. Oh, and that is pretty much it for the news. Right now, I'm going to get back into a regular or half-regular schedule, and hopefully I can deal with this the way I want to, or in a responsible fashion, because I'm not used to having such limited amounts of time to do my stuff. So I'm really trying to get my bearings and get my life in order, basically, so that I can at least bring you these videos, the Space Engineers videos, which are the admittedly the most popular on the channel. And I'm glad for it, because I really like this game, and I think it really has potential to go places. Be it on the survival side or the creative side. Now, about that, I need to address the role-playing elements here. Now, this is a creative series that I'm doing. Well, series. I might do, I don't know, maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 more episodes on this station, and then I'll be finishing it. Planets might be out by then, but what I want is to get the elements in creative out so that I can build a scenario. I've already discussed it, but it doesn't hurt to say it again, where I can have a scenario where I can role play, possibly some short clips, probably some short clips. And hopefully I'll enlist the help of some people to get some more life into the videos, some more interactions. Now, this does have the bonus, and this is something that I was struggling with when I was doing the previous role-playing series. This has the bonus of allowing me to communicate with you guys while I show the creative aspect of things. Now, for example, the lights thing, I already wanted to bring stuff to life with lights, but it's cool that I had the opportunity to have somebody suggesting it. Oh wow, my cell phone vibrating really makes a noise with on this chair. It's cool that I can communicate with you. Hold on. Go away, thank you. That's my dad, I'll call him in a bit. Even though the person that actually said that I should do some lights, some flashing lights, swirling, circulating, circling lights, maybe they're not on Google Plus. I don't know why I can't respond to that comment. So if you're listening to me, I did read it, I gave it a thumbs up. If I give you a thumbs up instead of replying to your comment, it's because I can't reply, because I reply to all of them, all 3 or 4 that I usually get. But yeah, essentially, this is why I'm doing this. I want to be able to communicate with you guys, and then have a role-playing element where I, well, don't communicate, but I can still listen to the feedback in the comment section. And it'll help me manage my time a little bit better, since right now 3 hours a day to myself, 3 or 4 hours a day, if we factor in stuff to do around the house. Yes, because I have a house now, I'm a homeowner, even though people gave it to me. My family gave this house to me. It belonged to my grandmother. I'm now sitting on where she used to sleep, and am sleeping on where she used to sit. Yes, that's pretty much it. We moved the bed to the next room where she had her, I don't know what she had there. I think it was an office. Oh, by the way, it is not creepy at all. So she passed away, and it was a very sad moment. But it was one of those things that she was in a mental state that was just barely human at all. She had cancer, she was in a lot of pain, so she had to take a lot of morphine. She was hallucinating badly, almost all the time. So people were just kind of hoping, please just don't let this drag on for too long. She barely knows. She only knew one of her daughters. I think she knew my aunt, but she didn't recognize my mother. It was sort of like that. She sometimes she asked about her mom, which was I'm talking of this with not in a griefy, bummery sort of way. I'm just talking to you about my grandmother. We weren't too close, only towards the end. Because she had been a real prick with my mom, and so we had a bit of a family feud there. And later on, she admitted that she hadn't been the best mother in the world, and that kind of fixed stuff, or essentially fixed stuff. But I think that's pretty much all there is to say about the situation. I am living in her house, and it's pretty great. I can walk nude around the house, so this is what I have to thank for my grandmother. I can now be nude because this is a 4th floor, and I can be nude with the windows open and nobody sees a thing. Whereas in my previous home, it was a ground floor. I could still walk nude and have the windows open, but people would eventually complain to the police, especially the gardener. So I really wanted to avoid a situation like that. Okay, so this has been my life in the past couple of months. My girlfriend wanted to move here. I really didn't. I wanted to have the house ready, so I had the computer in the previous house, and I was kinda living in this house, and I was kinda driving back and forward to play videos and record. Right now, I can wake up, sit down at the desk, and just go for it, which is just awesome. It feels so good. Okay, now that that's out of the way, let's talk a bit about projects. Now, I am going to be playing Fallout 4, Hitman, and Star Citizen. Now, if you guys want to see any videos of that, do tell me. I will be role-playing in Star Citizen, and I am going to make videos about it. That's pretty much a no-brainer. And this intertwines with another subject that I wanted to address. However, if you also want to see Hitman videos, Hitman and Fallout 4 videos, do let me know. I don't think you guys are. I don't think that's going to be you guys' cup of tea. But who knows? Maybe it is. However, about the role-playing aspect and why I'm not going to stop doing it, this is a playground. This is space engineers and space games in general are a playground for something that I saw in a comment somewhere the other day that I think really sums up the juice of this conundrum here, which is we were born too early to explore, or too late to explore Earth, too early to explore the galaxy. So we have to play around with what we have, and what we have are books, TV shows, and video games. That's pretty much it. And exploration and getting to know our environment and altering our environment is so innate to our human nature that I think that's why That's why I feel so in such an intense appeal to play around with space games, especially because I'm not going to have the opportunity in my lifetime to actually go out there and explore. Never mind the financial constraints. The mere technology is just light years away from allowing us to actually go out and explore the stars. So we have this. Space Engineers really helps out, and it will help out even more when planets come out. It also plays with human ingenuity, which is another very important element for our species and in our behavioral patterns. We need to tinker with stuff. We often hear that prostitution is the oldest profession in history. No, it's not prostitution, it's engineering. We started banging rocks together to make jagged edges before women started offering sex in return for money or goods. So this is how deeply rooted exploration and engineering is or are in our species. And this game in particular fantastically plays to both of those aspects. Star Citizen will be in a different, but it will allow me to role play, to really pretend like the universe is. Like, there are no boundaries anymore. Right now we're bound to Earth. In Star Citizen, the boundaries will of course be whichever planets end up being provided to us. But we will be playing in an environment where boundaries are non-existent. Space Engineers too, but it does lack some aspects. Like, it's not such a living, breathing universe like Star Citizen will be. In any case, playing with this magical portion of ourselves, or at least myself, I do believe you guys feel the same way. That there's something missing. There's something missing in our lives. If any of you are actual engineers, or it doesn't have to be a mechanical engineer, like even programmers, I believe will share in this sensation of creation. It's wonderful to create stuff. Attending to this, I've also recently been watching some videos of PBS Space Time, which I find to be they kind of bring this reality to me, or not the reality, because it's not a reality, but they bring this element that's lacking to me. And I'd like to share some of them with you. A recent video that I watched attended to the problem of propulsion, or how can we explore the stars. What are the ways, the best ways, not the best ways. Ironically, in one of the most achievable ways, and in an emergency, probably the only way we have of getting ourselves out there would be through the use of nuclear bombs to propel a vessel, which I thought was really interesting, actually, although we need to significantly up our nuclear arsenal. Although, in regards to that, I don't think we'd have any sort of problem at all. When it comes to making bombs, governments and corporations are all for it, usually. And I'd like to share some of them with you. I'm going to leave an annotation or a link here to that particular video, and I really urge you to, if you don't already, which I kind of doubt, but if you don't, partake in this element of the human experience that is exploration. Exploration and discovery. There's just so much out there, and granted, we usually romanticize what we hope to accomplish. So space exploration, if it ever comes, if we manage to survive as a species that long, if it ever comes, will probably not be, at least for a long while, not be anything like we see in Star Citizen or other TV shows, for example. It's gonna be a boring and very extremely dangerous affair, but god damn it, we try these things not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Well, that's pretty much it. I'm going to try to keep pumping out this sort of interesting space stuff to you guys, because if you're not if you don't know about it, if you don't know about these interesting videos or interesting articles, you may not have this. You may not have such an easy access to this bigger picture that I find is just absolutely magical. It's something that keeps me dreaming. So it doesn't keep me awake at night, but it definitely helps me sleep. Well, and that's gonna be it. You can see here-ish. I'm gonna try to sync the audio and video as best I can. How the station turned out. You can see the rotating lights there. This at night, I believe, is going to look pretty cool. There will be a lot more flashing lights. We're going to be designing vehicles to transport cargo. I believe these two top landing pads, middle and upper landing pads, are going to be for passenger only. The LCD screens are still kind of bugged out. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. But in the next episode, I'm going to try to give you the bottom portion, so the lower third of the landing pad. And who knows, maybe planets will be out by then. So, thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please remember, leave a like, a dislike, especially leave a comment. Tell me what you think, or what you know, or what you want to know. Follow me on Twitter, and until next time, as always, I have been the Neural, and I hope you have an awesome day.